And our next guest just starred in a movie that is all about hope, based on a true story. 4 men went out on a fishing trip in 2009 off Clearwater, Florida. 2 were former NFL players. They got caught in a storm. Their boat sank. What happened next is the story of hope in a movie that we think everyone can relate to. Joining us now is the star of this new movie, Not Without Hope, Zachary Levi. And Zach, it's great to have you with us tonight. Can you tell us what it was like making a movie like this, filming in the water at night, and this story of these 4 guys that didn't all make it back?
Yeah, thanks for having me, by the way. Appreciate being here and the opportunity to talk about the movie. You know, it was honestly one of the most physically grueling experiences as an actor I've ever been a part of. And I knew that going into it. I knew that there was going to be a lot of water work. We were in a massive tank. We were shooting in Malta. And it was about 3 to 4 weeks in this tank, mostly at night. And it was actual water from the ocean, so it was very, very cold. There was wind machines and rain machines and wave machines and water cannons. And I mean, it was a really intense experience, to be honest. It was a fraction of what these actual gentlemen went through in the real experience. You know, all of us were never really in, harm's way as far as losing our life. We had a medical team around us and emergency divers and whatnot. But we tried to just take that experience and infuse it into the performances as best we could so that we can honor their lives. Nick Schuyler, who I played in the film, he was the sole survivor.
Right.
He went on to write a book about it, All Not Without Hope, that the film is based on. But Marquise and Corey and Will, who did not survive, played by Quentin and Terrence and Marshall, this film is to honor them, to honor their lives, their families, and this harrowing experience that, as you said, really ultimately came down to holding on to that last shred of hope against all odds.
It's just a remarkable story, and there's no spoiler alert with what happened with this story. It doesn't ruin anything. I want to play you. This is a scene from the movie, and this is when, so they're in a smaller center console boat. This is when the storm first hits. Take a look. Can I just ask you, why didn't they cut the anchor line in that moment?
Man, that is the $1 million question. So Marquise had been on a fishing trip a week prior. That was his boat. He loved fishing. He loved that spot. That was his spot that he had found. It was actually a sunken ship, and kind of the remains of that ship that created an artificial kind of reef. So the fishing there was quite good.
Right.
And he had caught his anchor the week before, and he had to cut his anchor then, and it was a $500 anchor. And he was just like, I don't want to lose yet another anchor. And so that's what it came down to, a $500 anchor. And honestly, that's kind of one of the things that I took from being in this film, and one of the things that philosophically I try to pass on to other people. And it might sound, aside from, what I hope that audiences take from the film, which is to hold on to hope no matter what, no matter where you are or what you're going through, hold on to that last little shred of hope. But also, if you've got some anchor, proverbial or actual anchor, that's holding you down in your life, cut that thing. Cut it right now. Because the amount of times that we allow these things that really, in hindsight, we go, oh my God, that was the difference between me living a much happier life or being dragged down in this negativity. And we're all subject to this. Look at the world right now. I mean, I just saw the last segment that you were talking about. There are so many things that are going on that very easily can drag us down in these anchors. And we've got to be willing to cut them loose and say, okay, enough of that. Now, we don't want to just step out and absolve ourselves of the responsibilities that we have in our lives,
right,
and make sure that we're attentive and proactive and collectively making the world a better place. But that can't allow us to become worse versions of ourselves along the way.
I like that. I like that a lot. Zachary Levi, good luck with the movie. It is spectacular. It's called Not Without Hope. I recommend it. Hope you come back and see us soon. Zachary Levi, thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
You too.